it's Miss Krystal, and we are going to talk about some books some more. Just so you know, as a reminder, I am putting all of the volumes that I talk about in the video, underneath the video, in the description box. So have at it if you don't want to listen to me talk, okay? So anyways, here we go. Today's theme is squad. Yeah, so basically it is just about like books that incorporate large groups of friends doing something together, okay? So I am going to start with my high school, like young adult novels. Here we go. We've got 6 Angry Girls. Yeah, don't they look like super mad? Okay. Anyway, 6 Angry Girls. I loved it because as soon as I opened the flap, it said knit, riot, repeat. And I'm a knitter. And I know a lot of other knitters who are in like these revolutionary like knitting groups, which I think is strange that always goes together. But anyways, it's about these girls who find each other because they're trying to rebel against the patriarchy. Specifically, we've got Raina and Millie. Raina and Millie. They are 2 girls that they feel have been wronged. They're in high school. I know specifically that they got kicked out of like mock trial because the guys that were in the group are basically like, oh, you're a girl and you can't do these things well, I guess, or they're not able to do the jobs that they want to inside of these organizations because of the male presence. So they decide to join this knitting group together based off of advice from someone, I think like a radio host or something. And anyways, they meet each other and then they decide to like form their own mock trial group to get back at these young men, at the patriarchy in a whole, whatever. And so yeah, it's like all girl power all the time. Gotta love it. Yeah. Okay. Next thing. Legendborn. So this is like kind of a tome of a novel. It's not too big, but it's pretty big, I'm not gonna lie. It's like 400 pages. But it's a fantasy book, so I feel like that doesn't even like count. Like fantasy books are supposed to be long, right? No? Okay, anyway. Legendborn. Super cool cover. It's about this girl. What's her name? Bree. So Bree is kind of like running away from her past. Her mother died tragically. So she enters UNC Chapel Hill, North Carolina. So she gets there. Her first night there, though, she's like attacked by this like soul-sucking monster. And then she's like rescued by this like mysterious entity. And then the people that rescue her try to brainwash her to like forget about like that whole thing. You know what I mean? But like it doesn't work. So all it does is like bring up other memories, and she starts to remember the like mystery around her mother's death that she didn't remember before. And so she goes to investigate it, you know. And there's this society of Legendborns, and they are descendants of King Arthur that are also paired with Merlins, which are these like wizards. Get me? So she's like digging deeper into this society of Legendborns with this other Legendborn, Nick, and this Merlin who failed at deleting her memories in the first place. So it is a squad because they all are together trying to figure out what's going on, you know? Cool. Okay. Next thing. Muse. Muse Squad, the Cassandra Curse. So these next 2 are my middle grade novels. Okay? So Muse is about Callie. Yeah, Callie. So she becomes like a pop star. Yeah, like overnight. And super random. And she's transported though to this academy for muses because after that happens, it like awakens her like magic, and it reveals that like she is one of the muses, as in like a Greek muse. If you don't know what that is, then you should look it up. But she's like one of the 9 Greek muses, and so she has to go to like muse school to perfect her powers. And her powers are supposed to be used to inspire the human race, basically. And so she pairs up with these other 3 girls that are also muses, and they go on this mission together to help this other girl who has the Cassandra curse. Now you figure out what that is later. So, I don't know. I think it's an interesting premise. I don't know much about the muses in Greek mythology, but I think it's a good jumping off point. So if you want to know a little bit more about that, this is a fun way to get to know a little bit more about that. Okay. Next thing, Mars Patel, the disappearance of Mars Patel. So I think this is a super fun one. Yeah, it's based off of a podcast. So if you don't know, there are like these podcasts specifically for younger listeners, and this one specifically has middle grade kids reading the parts for the podcast. So it's a scripted podcast, and it is, I think they have another one that turned into a TV show, but this one just turned into a book. And it's cool because they have some of the scripts from the podcast in here that you can read. It also has a bunch of documents and things in it, so it's like a collective instead of just a novel. And basically the novel is about disappearances. These kids go to H.G. Wells Middle School, and there seems to be a lot of disappearances at their school, and then they look around and there's even more disappearances around the world, and so they're just trying to figure out, where did all these kids go, how do they connect to this ominous figure known as Oliver Pruitt. And so Mars gets together with his detention brigade, and they like go to town investigating this man, investigating like these kids that went missing. So that's it for me. Yeah, that's it. Those are squad goals. And I hope you enjoy.